following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be Jimmy Star's new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hey, hello, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We have a fun show for you guys today. Before we get started, let's say hi to my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Can't breathe. I really having problems with my throat, my voice, and my nose. Now I've got something new. I've got chapped lips. This reminds me of a joke I used to do in my show years ago when I did stand-up. This woman, this friend of mine, this girl, she said to me, Ron, I've got chapped lips. What should I do about it? I said, go home and sit in a bucket of Epsom salts. You'll be fine. And that was a risque joke for the day. That was a joke that people went, oh my God, shockaroo. But anyway, I'm a mess. I have to get out of the desert. The desert doesn't do good for me. Never did. Enough complaining. Who's on the show today? Anybody
We have
good?
a fun show today. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have Brandon Collins coming on. He's the really good-looking guy you tried to set up with Sherry Davis at Halloween Hotness.
He's a nice fella. What a nice guy he is.
And then our first guest, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I tried to find it in the internet, and like everybody pronounced it different. But I think it's Ron Rogge, but it might be Ron Rogge. But I'm not sure.
Rosé?
Rogge.
Rosé is French.
Not Rosé, Rogge.
Oh, Rogge.
With a G. R-O-G-G-E, but it's got the little apostrophe at the end.
That's a gravet.
Yeah, it's got a gravet at the end, but he's done
And it's pronounced A.
But everybody's
it's French.
He's done 100 interviews, and everybody pronounces it differently.
I can pronounce it correctly.
So we're going to ask him.
It's French. His name it's a French name. It's Roger.
That's what I think it is, but we're going to find out when it comes on.
Pronounced Roger. When you have a grave, the sound is A.
But the grave is not written everywhere. Sometimes there's a grave and sometimes there's not.
Well, then that's it.
So
I'm pronouncing it now with the grave.
Yes, with the grave.
Roger. Roger is also a wonderful furniture company. Roger Furniture years ago. They made exquisite furniture, high-end, very expensive. Now I have snot running out of my nose.
Anyway, I'm looking very much forward to it. We're going to have a good time. He's in a bunch of Power Ranger stuff, and everybody knows I'm a huge Power Rangers fan.
Forgive me for blowing my nose.
I'm excited about it. You don't have to tell people about it.
I don't give a shit. I mean,
just do it.
Yeah, I'm in agony. Lucky I'm here. I'm so sick. I'm so sick and tired of the desert sand. It's all over. The furniture's covered, even the upholstered furniture. I breathe it, I chew it, I live it. Do not live in the desert if you have allergies.
Anyway, chat room is just starting to people show up. I think Lady Lake is unable to attend today, so we want to give her a shout out. What's up, Stefan Bell is in the chat room.
Tramp.
She's just got stuff to do. She couldn't come today. And it's not my place to put out people's personal information on the show.
Oh, Jimmy, go screw yourself.
So anyway, there you go. That looks nice. Hardly, that people who don't watch the show, most people listen to the show, they don't see that.
Oh, well, you people who are not watching, I just stuffed tissue up my nose because snots are running out down my lip, and it's not an attractive sight.
So you guys, we have a bunch of...
So it's like, I put a tampon in my nose.
So we have a bunch of cool stuff going on, you guys. Saturday, we're going to see Dave the Cicada.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Dave Bailey's directorial debut. It's in Beverly Hills.
Movie. It's going to be a disgusting movie. It's about bugs.
Yes, it is about bugs, and it stars a lot
I
of people.
don't like bugs.
Everybody, a lot of the people in the film have actually been on the show, so it'll be a lot of fun. I forgot who's in it, but I'm going to look it
Eileen
up.
Dietz is in it.
Eileen of the Dietz is
Of
in
course,
it.
Dave, our dear friend Dave.
Yes, Dave is in it. How come it doesn't show up on?
What are you looking for,
I was
babe?
looking for IMDb. Kelly Ryder is in it, you guys. Mike Ferguson. Everybody's been on the show, so it should be a fun time. If nothing else, lots of celebs coming out to go see the film, so we're looking forward to it. Want to also tell everybody that on December 8th, Randy Edelman, who's been on the shows a bunch of times, he's playing at Carnegie Hall. It's called Waltzing on a High Wire, which is after his new album. So please, if you're in the New York area and you want to go see a great show, you can just go to the Carnegie Hall website and plug in Randy Edelman, and tickets will come up. They're like $55 for a ticket. It's not very expensive, and should be a lot of fun. And then we got confirmation today that the Beast Inside movie that Ron has a part in is coming out on December 3rd on all your video download outlets, so everybody can check that out also. And don't forget, my movie Purgatorium is still on Tubi, so check it out and watch it on Tubi.
And the part I happen the Beast Inside. Don't sneeze or blink because you'll miss me. It's a cameo. I did it for what's her name?
The team of people. Don't worry about it.
No, what's the star? What's her
Sadie.
name? Sadie Katz. I did it for Sadie Katz.
And it should be a lot of fun. Also, what else? There's something else going on.
What else is going on? It's cold here. It was 52 last night. 52 is very cold when you're used to 150.
120, 117.
Yeah. So it's very cold here. And I just don't like.
I love it.
Yeah, I just don't like the climate. I just don't like Palm Springs. People are writing very negative things about it. They're building it up. The main road that you drove on with the beautiful mountains on one side and the little village on the other is disappearing. The little village is being knocked down and great big hotels are going up, and the same thing on the other side, which blocked the mountain view. So now when you drive down Palm Canyon, you see nothing but hotel. It's getting
hotels and stores.
It's getting to be very Las Vegas. The traffic is starting to get very LA because of the amount of buildings they're building. They build one more condominium, I'll scream. So Palm Springs is just littered with homeless people. It's getting broken. It's getting dirty. It's not what it was. It doesn't have the glamour of when the movie stars lived here. I remember Palm Springs 40, 50 years ago when I used to come here. It was the most beautiful place to be. Somehow the climate seemed to have been different back then. I don't remember the sand affecting me. But then again, when you're 20, very little affects you. But when you're 84, everything affects you. So growing old is not a fun thing. We do it. You know, the alternative is not so hot either. Croaking. But we dismantle as we get older. We fall apart.
Absolutely.
It's par for course. So there you go. So Jimmy, let's get the first guest on.
He's not here yet. He comes on at 12:15. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. Last week's show's doing really well. 2 weeks ago, show's really doing well.
What was 2 weeks ago show?
I forgot, but
I forgot too. The two of us are senile.
We can't remember these
We don't
things.
remember anything.
Yeah, with every show. And next week we have a great show coming up too. So I'm really looking forward to it. We have two beautiful women coming on. Sharni Vincent and Caitlin. I forgot her last name. But Sharni Vincent is one of my favorite actresses. She's fabulous. She lives in Australia now. And she's in some really good movies. I'm going to watch all of them this weekend. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, you guys, you can hear the show, Red Circle. That's the best place for you to go for us. But if you listen on Apple iTunes, that's the same thing because we get credit for it on Red Circle. Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, and Amazon Prime. Those are the most popular ones, but there's about 150 or 60 other platforms that we're on, but those are the ones that everybody just knows. When you mention them, they know what it is. And let's see, what else is going on? I forgot. We had something else going on, but I forgot what it was.
Oh, I don't know. Just, all kinds of stuff. people ask for your autograph on, they want me to send them a picture. I don't have pictures. 8x10s. I'm not that kind of a personality. Those are movie stars that send the 8x10s out. I'm not a movie star. I'm just an actor and a talk show host. But anyway, they say, could you please send an autograph picture? What for? What are you going to do with it? I mean, seriously, what are they going to do with it? So I just say I don't have them, which I don't have any 8x10s. I could care less. I mean, of what? You want to see this old mug? When I was young, it was another story. Then I was handsome. You put the picture somewhere, but you're going to put the old bag up?
Of course.
No, people will go in your house and say, what's that, your grandfather?
So B. Claudia just joined us in the chat.
Claudia, how's your mother?
She said she just came back from it. I'm not sure how
Getting
she is,
back
but...
to, you Germans are like you tanks. You're like the Volkswagen. You're indestructible people. The Germans are really one of the healthiest, strongest people I know. I went out with a girl when I was very young, Hilda Schramm, and she was German. And I mean, you could like throw her against a wall, beat her up, kill her, smash it. They don't break. Not that I ever did that to her, but they were just tough people.
We want to give a shout out too. She said Nick came home. That's her son. Her son came home to see his grandmother. So we want to give a shout out to Nick. Nick works in entertainment. He's phenomenal, super talented. So we're happy to see you. We're happy to see you, B. Claudia. And
children are the best antidote for any illness. I know when I don't feel well, my kids come around me. I feel terrific. Now that my daughter lives in Pennsylvania and I'm destroyed from that, I'm so missing her. But, my little dog substitutes that. My 7-pound little dreamboat.
Was literally asleep on his blanket.
Who I don't want to use his name right now because I'll wake him up. If I say Astro, he'll be in my lap in a minute.
He's right behind you.
I think I'm losing my voice, Jimmy.
So drink some. That's okay. I can talk.
We're going to be in trouble.
No, we're not.
My voice is going down and down and down.
You have a drink, and it's fine because this is like my.
I'm telling you, I can't see. My eyes are blurry. My nose is clogged. Snot's running out. I'm a mess.
It's okay.
I'm a total mess.
People like it when we're a mess. So
they like me when I'm a mess. Thank you very much.
So I think our first guest is actually Mike.
I hope so. Before I die, he better get here fast.
Yeah. I think is he there? He's there, right, Juan? So let's bring him on.
Well, I have a minute left.
No, don't be so dramatic.
Oh, don't be so dramatic. Don't be so cold-hearted, you
I'm not being cold-hearted.
Don't be so cold-hearted, you big fag. Right away. Oh. Don't be dramatic. You should have what I have, you syphilited flute.
Remember, this guy doesn't know anything about us, so he might think that's like not
normal. He'll learn fast.
So Juan, is he there? I see him. That's the thing that says studio, but I'm not sure if he's there. If he's there, let's please bring him on.
He probably ran away when he heard me talk. That's nice. Blank state. I like a blank screen. Man, here you are.
Hi. How are you?
Hey, cool. How are you guys? Am I late? I said sign on at 12:15.
No, you're not late. You're not late at all. Just he has a cold, and he said he's losing his voice. He wants to get to talk to you before he loses it. So let me ask.
No, first of all, I don't.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not sure.
There's all misinformation out this little fairy. I don't have a cold. I have desert dirt, desert sand, dust, which is what the people in Las Vegas, the singers, are worried about. When a singer goes to Las Vegas, he only dreads the sand.
Anyway, so I have a question for you.
So there you are, Ron.
I actually went online, and I went online and watched every interview that you did, only to find nobody ever introduces you. So I'm going to guess that it's Rogge because it's got the little thing on it. Is that correct or wrong?
Yeah, I it's not legal, the little thing, the little accent aigu. I put it on so people know how to say it. Is Ron Rogge for sure.
Rogge, okay. Because I went on there and everybody's like Ron Rogge.
No, I told you.
All your interviews, or they don't actually introduce you. They just start off with put it in writing.
It's an easy name.
They do like a John Travolta, and they try different variations of names, right? So.
No,
so we had it right.
There was, as I said, there was a furniture company years ago called Rogge Furniture. Very high-end, very beautiful furniture.
All right.
And they spelt it that way.
So now we're going to introduce him officially. Now that we know for sure how to do his name, because you have so many interviews. I'm not kidding you. I went through so many of them, and none of them actually pronounce your name ever. So now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, producer, casting director Ron Rogge. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Hey. The cast director is a very old thing. I don't do much of that anymore, but yes, thank you. That's
okay.
Nice.
It's on your IMDb. He doesn't.
Oh, by the way, my hearing went from the sinus infection. I can't see, I can't speak, and I can't hear. So I'm really going to do.
So this is my cool, outrageous co-host Ron Russell. This is Ron Rogge.
Ron, I have to pull a Diane Wiest and say, "Don't speak, don't speak." Don't speak.
I love Diane Wiest.
If she won an Oscar for saying that, I figure I might as well.
I know.
To steal for 5 seconds.
So as a horror movie fan person, Lost Boys is like one of my favorite movies of all time, and I was friends with everybody in the cast, and so I'm a big fan of hers. But anyway, welcome to the show. We have people starting to show up in the chat room. Just say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hey, everybody in the chat room.
There you go. And if you guys want to follow Ron on Instagram, he's at the real Ron Rogge, Rogge, but it won't have the
Grave.
The Grave. It won't have the Grave on it. So now, where do you? I had actually thought that maybe you lived in Canada since you had that name, but you don't, because you have a phone. Your phone number's like in Burbank or someplace.
Oh dear God, yes, no, I do not live in Canada. Although a lot of friends want to move there now after the election, but. No, I'm actually from, this is my little gimmicky thing. I'm from the southernmost state in the United States, and most people get it wrong because they don't know what the southernmost state is.
Florida.
That's most people's guess, I have to say, followed by
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico's not a state, unfortunately, but yeah.
No, I know, but they included in there somehow.
No,
I don't know.
Florida is the most.
No, I'll tell you, there's another one.
You cannot come from
where?
You start down here in Florida, and you go to Texas, Louisiana, Texas, and then to New Mexico, and then get to California, and then way down
at the bottom of California,
way down here in the middle of the ocean is a little state called Hawaii.
Oh, are you in Hawaii?
I'm not in Hawaii, but that's where I'm from.
Oh, but you're from Hawaii, okay.
I'm in the Los Angeles Burbank area, as you guessed.
Yes, I thought so.
About 5 minutes from Universal Studios.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Okay, so I'm happy to have you on. It's so funny because when I invited you on, I didn't even realize that you were part of the Power Rangers, and I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. And I didn't actually know that. But I'm very good friends with Steve Cardenas and Serena Vincent, and they were both Power Rangers.
I saw Serena as one of your guests on the show. Yeah, we are in a movie together right now called Legend of the White Dragon. I can't believe I messed that up.
I can't wait for that movie to come out. So when's it coming out? Because it's been teased for like 2 years already, and it hasn't come out. And I actually had breakfast with Jason David Frank once at a convention, and I can't wait to see the movie. So tell me, when's it coming out?
I think it's going to be the early part of next year. I'm actually doing a reshoot tomorrow night on one scene. I did ADR last week. Actually, the ADR was a couple weeks ago. ADR for something else was last week, but I'm confused. It's all jamming up. But for people that don't know about the movie, Jason David Frank partnered up with Aaron Schoenke and his dad, Sean, who are very, very famous online. They do all these incredible superhero battles amongst each other. They'll fight. They'll pit like superheroes from different, like DC versus Marvel, or Batman versus Darth Vader, or the Halo Sergeant, versus different characters like Captain America, things like that. It's really amazing. They have millions and millions of views. I recommend them to be a guest on your show. But they decided to partner up with Jason David Frank to do a new vehicle for him so he can get away from the Power Ranger thing he's been locked into for so long. And he got 98% of it shot. And unfortunately, if people don't know, he committed suicide a year ago.
It was terrible.
It was a horrible, horrible thing in the Power Ranger world. Probably the most famous Power Ranger actor ever. And obviously, these guys were stunned and left what to do. So they decided to do some reshoots and add a new character, which was me. They asked me to be in it, and some really great cast members in there. And they rewrote some of it so it wouldn't, because now obviously it wasn't going to be a recurring vehicle for David. But it's their first venture into doing a feature film, and it's really, really great. But they're a two-man band. So when I'm saying that people have been waiting for this to happen, first of all, there was a little thing that happened last year with JDF, and then because I said David, right? Jason. Anyway, but because that happened, because they had to do rewrites and reshoots and everything else, it's been delayed. And they're doing everything themselves. They're amazing. So it's going to come out when it's going to come out. It's going to come out at the right time, because it's going to be 100% great and done. And I definitely encourage you.
I can't wait. So first of all, you're Commissioner Lewis. First of all, a lot of the people in it have been on our show. Well, not a lot. Several of the people in it have been on our show or are friends. Rachel Brooks Smith's been on our show a bunch of times. She's a friend of ours. Serena Vincent's been on the show. Mark Cascos has been on the show. Chalet Brandon has been on the show. Jason David Frank. So I'm a big collector. You don't really know anything else, but I mean, I have thousands of things. So I have like a Power Ranger helmet signed by him, and I have all kinds of stuff in my collection that Ron will attest to. Which right now, because we want to move from Palm Springs, so everything's in storage. But I have all that stuff, and I'm actually doing a werewolf movie that we're gonna get some of the people from that cast in this werewolf movie I'm producing.
I'm happy that science fiction is back, because I love it. Now
big fan of sci-fi and horror. That's my genre. I used to build haunted houses. That's
now
my
I
passion.
understand that they're doing a Flash Gordon remake. I'm so happy they're bringing him back as a superhero. So I'll be a great fan of Flash Gordon's, and that should be fun with Ming and everybody.
He likes the Buster Crab, because he's Ron's 84, so he likes the Buster Crab Flash Gordon. But we've actually had Sam Jones as a guest on the show, and I've actually I'm casting him in another movie that I'm producing.
He was terrific. I really enjoyed him. He's a regular guy, a Joe, everybody you know kind of guy. So I'm excited about. We got away from Dracula and werewolves and zombies. It got to be a bore. Now that we're going into outer space, we're opening up a whole new window of entertainment, and I'm excited about that. And I can't wait to see your film either.
I can't wait I'm not kidding you. I'm really excited about it.
Is it going to be very, very science fiction-y?
Oh yeah. It has a little Power Ranger slant to it, especially because JDF brought in all these Power Ranger past people. He didn't bring me in. They brought me in after the fact. So, it's gonna be really cool. It's definitely gonna be outside the studio system. It's gonna be one to die for. If you watch their Bat in the Sun productions of all their superhero battles, then they have hundreds. I mean, people are writing comments like DC should learn from these guys. These guys do quality stuff, and you wouldn't know it was being done not in a studio. That was being done in their home.
That's basically too. That's all so I basically collect superheroes and horror movies. People, superhero action
figures. Don't you have
figures.
a science fiction movie? I thought you had one that you were producing.
No, not yet.
But you do.
I have two, but they're not. They're not. The four that are funded are not in those. Okay.
Nice.
But no, I collect it all though. I love all of it. We've had every major horror movie person on. We haven't had all the Power Rangers on. I've invited a bunch of them, but they haven't come on. But so you're a big Power Rangers guy though, because you play William Mitchell. You're in I don't know, probably over 100 episodes plus a bunch of films.
Only 40. I can't claim more than that. They recast it every season after a while. So 40 episodes was a season back when I did it. We're actually coming up on our 25th anniversary in January. All our cast is coming by. We have a very elusive cast. Most people left the business and went on to do other things, and they don't show up to a lot of conventions and stuff. And when they do, people usually get excited. I think we had a really great cast, really great scripts. I was Captain William Mitchell. I headed the Power Rangers. I sent them out on the missions every week, and I also happened to be the father of the Pink Ranger and the Titanium Ranger. So I was this military guy. I wore the Navy suit and everything else. And
Do you have an action figure?
I don't. I mean, what's up with that?
That is
People ask
so,
me that question all the
so
time.
messed up. I buy the action figures of everybody who comes on the show. If they have an action figure, I always buy it. And I was hoping, but I Googled it on eBay yesterday and I didn't see it. I didn't see
There's no
any.
love. If you're not a Power Ranger, there's no love. I mean, I was a series regular. Me and Monica Lawrence, who played Mrs. Fairweather in our series, we were predominant. We were a series regular. We're on this show every week, and they never deemed. Most of the toys are based on the Japanese footage. So by the time the American footage got shot, and they used like 12% of the Japanese footage, all that stuff was already in the works of making it. So they had no idea they were going to do American characters. Like even the Titanium Ranger in our episodes was the first ever solely American Power Ranger, because that was a rewrite for the 6th character they did in our season, and that was my son.
So let me ask you a question, because you did 3 movies too, though, didn't you? According to IMDb, you're in 3 movies.
Power Rangers?
Yeah.
No. I mean, because I got to know everybody, I did some voices of some monsters.
Oh, okay.
None of the features. No, we didn't do a feature with our cast, even though people, no offense to the other Power Ranger, most of the production people were like, "We love this cast. Please don't recast it. We just want to keep this cast in place. Everybody's so cool and nice, and I love the love that we got. Although then we wouldn't have Erin Cahill, who came in and it was a great Pink Power Ranger the next year. She and an amazing actress who's gone on to have a really awesome career.
So what did you think of the Power Rangers movie reboot like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago? Did you like it? I'm sure you saw it just because you're a Power Ranger.
I mean, it's more Mighty Morphin, which is way before my time. I never watched it as a kid. I tend to like movies, even movies that get ripped by people. I don't care.
So do I.
Foreign film, action films, obviously horror films, anything. I'll watch any genre and I'll find something about it. Sometimes I go, I learned from that because I would have done that better if I was in charge of production. So
I actually liked it. I mean, I thought it was done pretty well. I know it got ripped, but lots of movies get ripped. And I don't really like the remake stuff so much, but I like that a lot. I'm one of probably the only people on the planet who like glitter, with Mariah Carey, so
Daydreamer, right?
Yeah, nobody likes that one at all. But I think it's very, very cool. And then I saw recently, so my new favorite TV show. Now I don't know if your episode aired or if it did. I just didn't know you and I didn't look for you. But Kathy Bates' new show Matlock has got to be like the best show on TV right now. And it says according to you're in an episode. What episode are you in?
My episode has not yet aired. So now that we've met, now you can watch it. I'm in episode 9. The episode starts off with Kathy Bates hitting on me in a bar. So once you see that, you'll know it's me. And it's funny. I'm actually going to what they call a For Your Consideration or FYC event tonight for Matlock. So we're actually going to go and I'll see the cast again. I shot back in June or July, June probably. And I haven't seen anybody since. So it'd be nice to go there tonight to the event and say hi to the whole cast. I'm just going to be an audience participant, and I just want to say hi to everybody. And Kathy is awesome and really made an effort to say everybody's first names on set. Ron for 10 days in a row. It was made you feel really, personable and at home with her, and just so kind, so generous. And I'm really glad the show is doing well because they deserve it. It's a really great crew, very great producers, and
she's a great actress.
Yeah.
Bates can do anything. She changes her form. She keeps looking different in all of her films. Sometimes she's fat, sometimes she's skinny, sometimes
so
she's
he
blonde.
hasn't seen it yet, but you remember
Aren't we all?
Yes.
That, I can see it. Some things I watch that I've done in the past. I'm like, oh my God, that was my fat period. Holy crap.
Remember I think it was in the 80s. I think who played Matlock originally? Andy Griffith or somebody? Who played Matlock? So there was a TV show in the 80s called Matlock, and it was Andy Griffith. And so this is called Matlock, and she took her name from it because of the Andy Griffith show. But she's an attorney, and it's a really good show. I really am enjoying it.
There's a lot of remakes. This is a twist on the remake because she goes in there, and if you haven't seen it, it's not much of a spoiler because it should be known by now. I think they're at episode 4 or 5, I think tonight maybe or tomorrow. Anyway, but she says, "My name is Matlock," like the TV show, right?
Mhm.
She's not pretending to be Andy Griffith's character back in the
Right.
day.
That's right.
She's in the
Yes.
world where Matlock existed as a TV show, and she's borrowing the name because her real name is Maddie. So Matlock works for her, and she's using that to be sort of pseudo undercover. She's trying to find out some things
And
about
she's
the
never
blog.
looked better. She's never looked better.
She's
She
great.
really is terrific.
Yeah,
So,
she's amazing.
so you like horror a lot. I mean, I look at your IMDb, and you do have some horror movies in there, but you have, since you have such a wide variety of everything, horror movies and stuff like. But you're a big horror fan on your own before all of this.
Yeah, I'm just coming off a very busy Halloween season where I decorated a private home in this private development. I just go all out, do this horror thing, and then I decorated a Halloween party for Terry Rossio. Do you know Terry? Terry is a screenwriter. Do you watch a lot of independent films?
Yes,
'Cause-
I do.
So Terry wrote movies that you might have heard of, like Shrek and Aladdin and Pirates of the
Oh,
Caribbean
huge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, National Treasure 1 and 2, Legend of Zero, Mask of Zero, Deja Vu with Denzel, The Lone Ranger, and the last 4 or 5 Godzilla movies. So independent films.
Yeah, little ones.
He's also uncredited for he wrote the first version of Men in Black once. So, but anyway, so I decorated his house. He had a big Halloween party this year. And then I also did a huge industry haunted house, which was to raise money for people in the industry who are still out of work after the strike. And we were trying to raise money for them. We did a giant haunted house in Santa Clarita called Grizzly Gardens. So, all that was going on this year. Plus,
We were looking at real estate there. We were looking at real estate in Santa Clarita, and actually, we met 12 years ago. Well, I met him in the mall, even though he didn't like me. But he did a haunted he did a haunted house for a party for the owners of Costco in Florida, and I was in it, and that's kind of how we got together. Was doing
wow.
like 12 years ago.
Yeah, I might go to Salem next year, Salem, Mass, and do a haunt there.
Oh, it's wonderful up there. We went Thanksgiving.
Apparently they don't have a major haunted house or anything really fun to do, and so I've been contacted about maybe heading out there.
But it's a wonderful place to spend Thanksgiving. I went up a week ago with my kids, and we had the best time.
That's
and
great.
it was so American, so American. Like Paul Revere rode there, and the House of the Seven Gables. Everything was you just felt so patriotic, and living there was wonderful.
Yeah, people don't realize it's also on the coast, so it's got a lot of pirate history, which is cool. They actually have pirate museums there and a couple witch museums and stuff. So
we did the walk, and we went to Plymouth Rock. I suggest everybody listening, if you're on the East Coast and you can, go there for Thanksgiving. It's a blast. You'll have a good time.
So
and next year, by the way, one last thing about Salem. Next year is the 400th anniversary of the creation of Salem. So it's a big deal. It's going to be a big celebration up there this next year, 2020.
Go to the Witches Museum. It's very interesting.
Yeah, there's 2. I haven't been, but I hear the one is okay and one is so.
Well,
So that's why when I come in, I want to do a really good thing that's going to blow people's minds. They get 3.2.
The one we went to had people, mannequins, wax figures, dressed as pilgrims, and showing you what life was like back there when they came to this country, when it was nothing. So it's very interesting. I would suggest it.
So I want to brag. I want to brag a little for you, for people who might not, anybody who doesn't know who you are. Here's some of the things you guys might have seen, Ron, on television, and there's a lot of things here. And I only wrote down really the ones I actually know, because if I didn't watch it, I didn't write it down. But Station 19, The Offer, 13 Reasons Why, General Hospital. We're friends with all the soapies. And Leonard, Stranger Things. We had Matthew Modine on the show. SEAL Team, How to Get Away with Murder, which is a great show. Modern Family, American Horror Story, Sleepy Hollow. I bring up the Toys That Made Us because the creators of that now did movies that influenced us, and I did the costume design for Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, and so I did an episode of that also. Devious Maids, The Middle, Mom, The Man in High Castle, Days of Our Lives, CSI Miami, 24, Grey's Anatomy, Southland, Castle, Leverage. I love Leverage. And The Bold and the Beautiful, which we're friends with all the soapies.
Everybody.
We know all the soapies. They all been on the show. And they live in Palm Springs, a lot of them, so we hang out with them.
We go to Palm Springs parties. You want my list? If I gave Sean Kanan, number one, my best buddy,
Tristan Rogers, Judith Chapman, Michael Damian.
No, and the list goes on and on.
Ian Buchanan.
And they were all at this party, every one of them. So, of course, I have to go around and break chops. And
you have to put me on your list for the next parties out there. That's great.
Right.
You know, I tease the hell out of all of them, and they crack up laughing. Because I said, how many years are you on? 35, 40 years? Oh, well,
yeah, because these are like they've all been doing it forever. You know who else we see a lot?
My favorite is Kate. I love
Kate Linder. We see her all the time at a lot of events.
I love. You know her?
Oh yeah, she's a member of the TV Academy like me.
I love her to death. She is the kindest, the sweetest, the most lovely person you ever want to meet. I love Kate. Yeah.
We see her a lot. So anyway, those are TV shows.
They're all on Sean's TV show, which is
Studio. So Sean Kanan has his own TV show that won a bunch of Emmys. His own soap opera
with his wife.
That he does with Michelle, and they won an Emmy. And all those people are in it, you know. Also, so like they've done two seasons.
They're fun people. The soapies, I like it.
So you guys,
Judith Chapman is the most fun.
So you have another movie, and I'm bringing it up because I was actually going to play the trailer for it, but then I thought it's a little odd, and I don't know that people will get it. But I'm bringing it up anyway. It's called Argon: The Quest for the Dragon Skull, and I guess it hasn't come out yet. And it sounded cool, and I thought, oh, this is going to be like a Power Rangers thing. But then when I saw the trailer that they have up there, I was like, But I bring it up because Kevin McNally is going to be coming on our show, and he's in it, and you've done some work with him. And
for those of you who are listening, go to your cell phone and pull up our show. You'll see us.
Yeah, on YouTube, just plug us in. You'll come up live right now.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point in putting on the trailer if they only hear it, they don't see it?
Oh, well, people watch it.
Well, I want to tell those that are listening, they could, for the moment, pull up their phones and watch it. And
actually, no, in a little while, we're going to play the Legend of the White Dragon trailer just so people get an idea, because I'm very, very excited about.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
So then some of the great movies that you've got, and I picked certain things because we know the people in them, which makes us a 6th degree of separation.
Jimmy is such a starstruck guy.
I am not. I like it.
He's in the business forever. And he's still.
I still get excited. That's right. I do. I got into this business for it. I'm producing movies with some of these people. So you did Battle in Space, The Armada Attacks, and I'm getting ready to do a movie with Doug Jones, Douglas Tate, and then Dustin Quick is in it. Dustin and Medi.
I love Dustin Quick. She is the most gorgeous girl and so sweet, and he is fabulous. He is the ultimate gentleman. From a day gone, no more. There are no more men like that. He is the most polite, elegant man you ever.
Do you know Dustin? Did you actually work with her? Like, in any of your?
She's so beautiful, Dustin.
She's like a model, and she's beautiful.
A model. She is a model.
Yeah, all my scenes in that particular project, I love that project. I was Joe, the newspaper guy, in a cage selling newspapers and candy or whatever, and in a world that's occupied by aliens, and it was such a great character. And gosh, I wish to make more of it because it was such a great project to be. But Doug was in it. I worked with Doug, but not her.
He wants to do alien space movie. That's the one he hasn't.
I've done a lot of movies. I always play a gangster, because of my New York accent.
But a priest or a cop. He's a gangster, a priest, or a cop in everything.
So my dream would be to be in an alien movie. I only want to dress in a space suit and have a ray gun. I want a ray gun. Okay, I want. I only want to do that.
I think you just did it. I think you're just qualified now.
Actually, I'll tell you a cute story.
We've got 2 movies that are alien movies, and I'm in them. But I don't know what part I had.
I want to tell you a cute story. So Ron's in this movie called Clown Motel. He's in number 2 and number 3. He plays General Milan.
I'm in 100 clown movies.
And in the third, he does a lot of clown movies. And in the third movie, Clown Motel, it's called 3 Ways to Hell. He plays General Milan because his character is carried over. And in it, It's the first time he gets to have a gun.
No, I've
So he
never
has
had-
like
no,
this,
I've never had
like a machine gun or
I've
something.
never done that in the film either.
So when they first shot him,
and now the
he's-
clowns are coming at me.
they told no, I'm telling the story. It's
No,
my
you're gonna
story.
fuck it
I'm
up.
not gonna fuck it up. It's my story.
Uh,
He
No,
Boys,
no,
boys, you're both pretty. Stop.
It's
he,
my,
he took he took the gun and the clowns are coming in. The director goes action and he's supposed to shoot him, but instead of just going like this, pretending like he's shooting him, he's going like this.
no,
And he's making the noises with his mouth.
That's not how it went.
It is how it
No,
went.
it's not how it went, and that's why I hate
No,
you.
that's how it went.
Don't steal my story.
I was there.
No, I had the rifle and I went.
Either way, it was hilarious.
And they said, "Ron, you're on sound. You can't do that." I said, "But I had a feeling. Because I'm not really shooting bullets. They're going to put that in after." So I just felt stupid with going
It was
with
hilarious.
nothing. I needed the.
We need to see that trailer, that outtake, right? That would be awesome.
Yes, that would be a great
Oh no, they
outtake.
did a beautiful job with it because, of course, they showed the bullets falling on the floor, hitting my boots, and the sound, boom, boom, boom. I mean, it was wonderful what they did to it, but I didn't enjoy it. We have to enjoy the work when we do it. Don't you agree with that?
100%. Yeah.
The more you
Yeah,
enjoy
I
it,
always-
the better your performance.
I always said if I'm not having fun anymore, I would totally 100% get out. But I think I like you, Jimmy. I'm just a big kid. I was standing there on the back lot, for instance, at Paramount, shooting a scene on New York Street, and they had it all lit up, and they brought out all the fire hydrants and trees, and I'm just standing there next to Kathy Bates. I'm like, does this ever get old to you? Because this is phenomenal. I just friggin' love this stuff. And she was like, yeah, I think she thought I was weird, but I was just like,
What is that?
I think she thought it was weird.
well, I've done like 160 episodes of TV, and I'm standing on New York Street on a Friday night, just looking around, going, "This is so cool! I'm doing this still."
But
at
there's
my
nothing
age.
wrong with that because I'm in the business 65 years,
Wow.
and every film I'm on, yeah, probably, I'm excited about. I still rehearse myself for character.
Yeah.
After 65 years, some people are bored. They go on the set, oh, I got to do this shit again. Not me. I'm excited each and every time. It's all new to me. How about you?
Everything is different.
We're kids. We're children at
Every
heart.
different. I mean, I'm going to Vegas this weekend on Sunday to do a couple scenes for a movie that they want to finance for Angel Studios, and we're going up to Mount. What is it? Mount Columbus? Anyway, it's supposedly a lodge above Vegas, and it's like Oregon. They set up there. There's trees. And I'm like, no way. It's Vegas. It's desert. It's dry. They go, no. When you go up this mountain, Mount Charleston, you go up there. And there's a resort. People get married up there, and it's all tree lined. It looks like Oregon. So I get to do that for a couple days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So that's going to be fun. I mean, every project is different. I shot something in. I shot a 1920s Virginia. It was supposed to be 1920s Virginia. We shot it in Massachusetts about 6 months ago. And it was like all the antique cars and stuff. And everything is new and different. You don't know, what it's going to be. And you just kind of go along for the ride,
And I got to work with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. So what's better than that? Meeting, sitting down, talking to Sophia and having the crew say, hey, soldier, you can't talk to her. And they were throwing me off the picture practically. And Sophia said, no, let him stay because I spoke Italian. And Sophia said to me, your Italian is as bad as my English, but we'll manage. She said, but we will manage. She was delightful. So what a thrill to get to talk to Sophia Loren. And Tab Hunter became my lifelong friend. Tab and I were buddies forever.
So here, I'm going to brag a little bit more. Here's some other great stuff you guys can see Ron in. He was in Shattered we just met.
Use last names or they'll think it's me.
Ron Rogge is in Shattered, which we just met Ray Wise recently. He's getting ready to come on the show. Tom Malloy's a friend of mine. Eileen Dietz, Molly Burnett. You were in the Frankenstein with Carrie Ann Moss. Tony Todd, rest in peace because he just passed away. He's been on our show a bunch of times.
I was going to say,
what a sweet guy. I love
I wanted
Tony.
to say a tribute to Tony because he just passed. And was
He was a gem, quiet man, but a lovely man.
I don't know how you pronounce this other movie. Revan. Revan. Revan.
Reven.
Oh, Raven. Raven. R-E-V-A-N.
I wrote it down wrong. Okay, I switched the E and the A. Raven. That makes sense.
That's how they actually spell it. You actually got it right. But
but it's Raven.
Yeah.
Okay. With Stephen Bauer, James.
I know
James
Stephen
Russo,
Bauer.
Robert Miano.
Let me tell you how I know Stephen Bauer. He probably won't like it, but I don't give a shit. My sister-in-law was like 21 years clean, and they had a cake for her. So I went to the meeting, and who am I sitting next to but Stephen Bauer? And I turned around and I said, "You're Stephen Bauer. So nice to see you." And everybody had a nervous breakdown. They said, "Ron, you're not allowed to use names at a meeting." I said, "Oh." Well, he got up and he was like a day clean or 2 days clean. And I think it went right back. So that's how I met.
He's actually coming on the show.
Oh, he's not going to like it.
Well, you can't tell him that story.
I hope he doesn't hear about this because he's not going to like it.
He won't. So hold on. We have Animals with Naveen Andrews, Eva Amuri, and Mark Lucas. I love Mark Lucas a lot. Obsessed. This is the big one. Idris Elba, Beyonce, Ali Larter, Bruce McGill, Christine Lottie, Jerry O'Donnell, Scott Taylor Compton.
You worked with her?
I worked with Idris and Ali. It's a Christmas party. They're in the bathroom. She's trying to seduce him. He's married to Beyonce. So he's like, he's like, no. And she just won't stop. And then I come into the bathroom. I'm completely drunk from the party. And I see somebody in the stall, assuming what's going on. And it was a really funny scene. I've seen Idris a couple of times. It was his first big movie after The Wire. And, I remember I was going at this Emmy event and he was on stage and people were mobbing the stage. Idris, I want a picture, please. And he goes, "You get up here." And he called me up and people are like, "Who are you? Like, how does Idris know you?" And we chatted for a while.
How cool is that, though? Because you did a movie with him. And now he's like the biggest star in the world, though.
Let me just say something about Christine Lottie. I've been following her career since she started. Brilliant is all I could say.
Yes, she's brilliant.
Captivating and brilliant.
Also, then you were in Cellular, and Larry Cohen wrote it, and we were friendly with Larry Cohen. We met him at 2 premieres, but his best friend is one of our best friends.
Larry Cohen was keeping Lorraine Landon, our friend. And it was an amazing thing because his wife knew for 20 years that he had this girl on the side, and she was okay with it. And our friend Lorraine was friends with his wife. So that's Hollywood. When the mistress can be friends with the wife. That's Hollywood.
And you were in The Animal. I mean, these are all huge things. So if you have your pick of a movie, the type that you like, and you could pick, like, what kind of movie would be your pick? But you've got everything here. You got drama, comedy, horror.
He was very jealous of me because I love Lorraine. I'm gay. What does it matter, right? So I always call Lorraine my movie star. She loves me. And women with gay men are very affectionate. So at a red carpet, the two of us are hugging and like kissing and loving each other. And he went on fire. He was furious. So Lorraine said to him, "That's Ron. He's gay." And he said to Lorraine, "That's some hell of a gay imitation, I'll tell you." So that's what he thought of me, that I was making believe I was gay. I get cheap feels, I guess. I don't know.
So do you have a certain kind of movie that would be your favorite, or you just like working in all the variety?
I love movies that pay well.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's a good one. I like that.
Wait a second. At least you don't pay to play.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. There's a few of those out there. Thank God I'm not there. But I'm a huge fan of horror, sci-fi, like you guys, and I would love to do more of that. I would love to do conventions and all that stuff. I've done a few. I got flown to England and did a convention. I was also on Buffy the Vampire Slayer 1,000 years ago. And most
Oh,
people like find that out and they get really crazy about that. It's really
that's a
funny.
big deal, though. Buffy's a big deal because it has such a big cult following.
Buffy the Vampire.
It is, yeah, and there's a great story. I'm probably talking out of school and not answering your first question, but it's a worthy story. I went to the lot, which was down in Santa Monica, for the audition, and I knew the cast directors had taken over the show from the previous casting people. And the very first episode there, they used to come in and audition for this cop role. And like you, Ron, I've done a lot of cop roles in my life. So I went in and I hear this, Ron, it's Sarah Michelle Gellar. Well, I knew Sarah from spending a couple Thanksgivings with her with a mutual friend. And she's like, what are you doing on the lot? I'm like, I'm auditioning for your show. Now, I've only had a couple of credits at this point. And she's like, she goes, oh, right, there's new casting people up there. Come on. She grabbed my hand. She dragged me up the stairs to the casting office. And they turn around and they see their star is looking at them. And they're like, oh, it's you. Oh, so nice to meet you. She goes, yeah, you guys are new on the show. I want you to wish her luck. And then they slowly look at me, still her holding my hand. And they go, oh, and you know Ron? And she goes, yeah, Ron's so great. You guys are so smart for bringing him in. Anyway, thanks for being part of it. And she left, and I'm sitting there, with this eating grin on my face. And I went home, and I said, I think I'm going to get it, because I think Sarah literally handed me the part by kind of touting me that I was a friend of hers and in the show. And indeed, it was the first. Up until that, I'd only done like one day on certain TV shows, and this is the first time I got 2 or 3 days on a TV show. I was very excited, and it was such a hot show at the time, so it was really awesome. And
such a big show. It's such a big show. And she's going to be. Hang on, she's going to be in because they're rebooting. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, is she doing that?
You're going to ruin it.
So I think she's going to be in it, though. I read that she's going to be in it.
You cannot do a remake. It's like shooting the first load. The second one doesn't work like the first one. And that's what it is. I was best friends with Jane Russell. We hung out together. So my name is Ron Russell. She's Jane Russell.
Yeah, right.
So everywhere they went, they say, your wife. Your wife, referred to Jane. I said, no, she's not my wife. And then one time Jane was standing next to me giggling. They said, I said, she's not my wife. They said, oh, your mother. I'm sorry. Well, I thought she was gonna drop dead. He just looked at the guy. She said, mother. She was appalled.
So what I want to do real quick, because I'm super excited.
Well, she was 88 and I was like 80. My mother.
I want to play the trailer for Legend of the White Dragon so people get an idea of what it is. So people just have an idea of what it is. So I want you to introduce it. We're going to play the one that says Legend of the White Dragon trailer. You introduce it and then hang on and we'll be right back.
Okay, you want me to introduce right now?
Yeah, I want you to introduce it.
Everybody, this is the trailer for Legend of the White Dragon. From Pat and the Sun Productions, Aaron and Sean, the greatest minds to put this stuff together. Enjoy.
The prophecy tells of a duel between the two dragons of a shared crystal. We must join together to prevent the schemes of evil men. Eric, there is so much you don't know. All that matters is that you are now a white dragon. The spirit you fight is still strong within you.
You took everything from me!
You can't change the past. You have to let it go.
No!
All you can do is show up now.
Well, let's see what we're working with.
Where is Eric Reed?
am so excited for this. It's not even funny.
And you know what? It looks like a very high-end film, high budget.
Yes. It's
It
going to blow
doesn't
the
look.
studios. It's going to blow the studios away. Yeah, no, it's
I mean, it looks like a $35 million movie.
I'm very honored to be a part of it. You probably saw Michael Madsen in there. David Ramsey, who did a lot of the DC TV shows and now is directing a bunch. He's now kind of one of the new leads, sort of replacing JDF. But I mean, I don't even know the script because a lot of it's hidden. But
right,
I could have been in that movie.
Such great cast.
Was there an admiral in that movie? I
he doesn't know. He hasn't seen the movie yet.
Oh,
nobody's seen it yet.
They always have an admiral. I could have played the admiral.
It's a big secret, though. Nobody knows like anything about it. But they've been teasing this movie
in
for
a
2 years.
uniform with a ray gun.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they didn't know you before they asked me to do it. I probably would have lost the role to you of the police.
I've never asked anyone. I have never in my career asked. Wait, listen. I've never asked anyone in my career, "Can I be in your movie?" I would never put anybody on the spot like that. I would have said, "I want to be in that movie." With a ray gun, otherwise no deal. No deal.
He just wants the gun. So here's something I like to ask actors.
Okay.
And I ask all the actors that come on. Bucket list. Okay, it's a 3-part question. Number 1, male and female actor you would like to work with that you haven't had an opportunity to work with yet. And they could be living or dead because we don't care because we have an older audience anyway. And then if you could have ever been in any movie that's ever been made in the history of film, what movie would you like to have been in?
Wow, there's so many. I'm such a movie buff, a movie fan. I mean, I would love to work with every dead movie legend and say I worked with them. From Betty Davis to John Wayne to everybody. Living, Kevin Kline has always been someone I admired a lot.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's a good one.
She's so great. I worked with Kathy Bates for the 3rd time now because I also did American Horror Story Hotel with her, and I also did her previous show, Harry's Law, with her.
That was a good show too.
I can't. Yeah, she hated that scene. She came up to me at the table where she goes, "Why? We worked together." And I'm like, "Well, I was in Harry's Law. I threw you against the wall, put handcuffs on you, and drug you into the elevator." And she goes, "Oh, I hated that scene. No offense, but I hated that scene." I'm like, I was just doing my job, Kathy. I'm sorry, but
that's funny.
Living. It's such a vast thing. I mean, I think Kate Winslet is one of the true, and Meryl Streep, obviously, the true champions, the best actors of all times, and they're still living. So let's pick them. Hugh Jackman, we have a mutual friends, and he's so kind and so nice, and I would love to work with him as well. So there's a couple choices. How's that?
I like Hugh Jackman too, a lot actually. Okay, and what movie would you have liked to have been in?
The one where he was a vampire slayer. I love that movie.
I know.
When he's fingered it.
If we go back, some of the films I grew up with that I've seen like hundreds of times, I would love to have been one of the kids in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate.
Absolutely.
I would love to have been,
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate.
Maybe the kid with the guns, and I don't know, but that would have been awesome. Or some iconic stuff like Wizard of Oz or even Gone with the Wind. I know that's probably cliche. No, it's not. I'm a big Western fan, so it would have been fun to be one of the Magnificent Seven. How's that?
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm not a huge Western person, but I do like a lot. We watch a lot of Turner Classic Movies, so we watch a lot of stuff because Ron's seen everything. Like, there's literally almost not a movie from the 50s or the 60s if it's got notable people in it that he hasn't seen. He's seen them all, so we watch a lot.
They were all my friends, so of course I watched all their movies growing up. As a teenager into young manhood, and I'm happy to say that I was friends with Betty Davis and all the great stars I was friends with, really seriously friends with. Yeah. And I hate when I read the idiots of today saying terrible things about them that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Now, you can't say anything about Jane Russell that I don't know. Of course, we hung out. She stayed in my house. I stayed in her house. We were like brother and sister. Yet some asshole just put out on YouTube the most horrendous, hideous, lying shit about Jane Russell. And I don't know what to do, how to get it off the air.
You can't get it off.
Because I want to just tell the world, Jane Russell was, I can't even get into it. It's too involved. But it's sad. She's dead.
I'm sure.
She can't defend herself.
Yeah.
And they said terrible things about Betty Davis. Betty Davis was not a lesbian or anything near a lesbian. In fact, Joan Crawford tried to make it with her, and she resented it. No, she did. She hated Joan Crawford for one of those reasons. Because in the early days, Joan Crawford came on to Betty Davis. So sure. And Jane Russell was not mean and ugly and evil to people. Not true. She just was a tough broad. That was her personality. So I hate this new media we have. This new lying.
He watches YouTube and he sees all these videos. He watches the old star stuff.
It's the lying. It's the lying media. How does YouTube allow them to say Whoopi Goldberg died or this one died?
Yeah.
And it's not true. They have the audacity to say, well, today we lost 4 movie stars and they're all major stars. They didn't die. How did they get away with this shit? Why is the media such liars?
That's like, I don't know what you call that. That's like a bait thing, though, to get people to watch the video
I
because
know
they get paid on those
but
videos.
How do you allow this? How does YouTube allow these lies?
Which, by the way, so you have 1 million acting reels on YouTube. You should do a current one. I was going to play one of them, but I played the dragon thing instead because they're like 15 or 16 years old and you've done so much stuff. You should put together like a newer one and throw it up there.
You sound like my manager is like, you really need to, and I've updated it on our end of it so it can be submitted. But, I've tried to put stuff on, YouTube or whatever. And then they always like, oh, Disney has detected that some of their footage is in your reel.
Oh, yeah. I guess that can be a problem.
They take away, I didn't know you were looking, I could have sent you something directly, but they take stuff away or they take the sound away if you have anything that's from a actual TV show, right? And that's the ones you want to put on. So the only stuff that's stuck online is some of these independent stuff I may have done 15, 20 years ago.
Which isn't
the really good stuff.
Not fair.
I know. Horrible. I should have just sent you some stuff directly. I got some cool stuff.
You know that we're not allowed to play. If Johnny Manthis came on our show and we wanted to play Chances Are, they would kick it off. We're not allowed. Even though the star is there. They said, yes, Ron, play Chances Are. Off it goes.
Yeah, we've had that problem several times. So I'm always careful with the videos that I pick.
Same thing with my reels because most of
that makes sense though. Now that you say that, it totally makes sense.
We never have been able to show it.
Yeah,
they would have booted it right off.
So you guys,
because you're the actor, that's your reel. You gave permission. Come on, folks.
Yeah.
It's just not fair. Anyway. I'm not a fan of what goes on politically today with the media, with what goes on, the way they just entrap you.
Anyway, we have to go. We have to get going though. So here's what we're gonna do. So first of all, you guys, please check out Ron Rogge. He's at The Real Ron Rogge on Instagram. Are you on any other platforms? Like I know you're on Facebook, but I mean, are you TikTok or X or any of that stuff? No. Okay, so
I'm so old. I had my friend's daughter set up an account both on what was Twitter, I guess, and TikTok, and I'm like, I will never use that. She set up the Instagram account, and people like write to me and go, I was trying to cast you in a movie last year. You never responded. I go, I don't know how to sign on to Instagram. I put something on Facebook and she set it up so it goes there, so stuff shows up and it may look like I'm active, but I'm not really, and I'm like, I have no idea.
Oh, that's so funny because I tagged you on Instagram that you were coming on the show and it got over 20,000 likes on it. And,
wow.
and I invited you to participate in it and you never did, and I was like, so I knew you didn't do your own though. I knew you didn't really know how to do it because you would have done it. But anyway, you guys follow him. He's on. The most important thing is to check out all of his body of work. Go on his IMDb, see all the movies, go watch him. We want to thank you for coming on the show. You've been a blast. And good luck with all your future events.
One quick plug.
Yes.
I produced my first horror feature 2 years ago with some friends, not friends. I mean, we financed the whole thing and shot it in Big Bear. It's called Killer, Kill, capital Her, but one word, Killer.
Okay.
And it's really
Wow.
fun. A little bit of horror, a lot of bit of comedy, thriller. It's on Tubi right now, but it went around the world. We just had it in Britain at the Grimfest Festival. It's doing really well. I have a small appearance in it, but it's a great ride. And if you like horror, terror, thrillers, I would recommend you watch it. Killer, with the capital H in the middle. Killer.
Did you direct it?
I did not. I chose the director because I found the money. I chose the writer, brought his script in. I chose the director. I cast it with Iris Hampton. We were 50-50 on casting. I gave her all the credit because I didn't have enough budget to really pay her what she deserved. So I said, I'll do half the work. I'll do half the work for you, Iris. So we put together a great ensemble, and it's a fun movie. Ron, you would have been great as the hotel clerk, but
Do I get to carry a space gun?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he had a pet snake. That work? I don't know.
You know what's funny? Now somebody's going to write a script where there's a senile old man in a home in a space suit with a space gun, and I'll play the part.
I think we should just rewrite One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and put you in
Yeah,
there.
and me with a space gun.
So I'm going to put you on my list. So like I produce a lot of films, and a lot of producers and film people contact me because they know I get a lot of celebrities on the show without going through agents. I know they got to negotiate with agents, but we can at least find out if you're interested or not. And so I'm going to put you on my list of people, like when they're asking me who's a cool person to bring in. And if anything comes our way, I'll contact you and let you know.
Stop bringing me.
Well, I don't know if I'd call me a celebrity, but I would call myself the Hollywood nobody, somebody who's done 160 episodes of TV, and most people don't know who the heck I am. But thank you for the recognition here. I appreciate you guys so much.
Hey, it's been great. So we love it. We'll see you soon. Good luck this shooting tonight. I think you said tonight or tomorrow, whenever you're shooting. And
Legend of the White Dragon, we're doing a reshoot tomorrow night, Friday. Wait, today's Wednesday, so sorry, 2 days we're doing that.
When that comes out, we'll bring you back because I'm really that's something I'm very, very excited about.
And don't
you guys
feel bad
definitely. I'm telling you, Aaron Schoenke and his dad Sean, you got to look at Bat in the Sun Productions. Look at all their superhero battles and stuff. I'm telling you, the quality blows DC away, and it's like so well done. You know, Joker versus different characters from other genres. I think there was a Power Ranger crossover and stuff, and it's really amazing. The stuff they do is awesome. And since they're going to be releasing the film, I'm sure they come on your show and talk about it.
Yeah, I'd love to have them come on. So it's perfect. All right. Thank you so much, Ron.
Yes, thank you, Ron. Have a great
Hawaii,
week.
hang loose, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, guys, so we're going to take a quick music break. We're going to play J-Cap Cost Me, and when we get back, we'll be on with our next guest, Brandon Collins. But here's J-Cap Cost Me. J-Cap Cost Me. There we go.
Don't talk yet.
Yeah. I was young, I was dumb, I thought money was so evil. Now you're tasting freedom, I relied on other people. Oh, silly me, pitiless philosophy. I had no clue what it was gonna cost me. Yeah. Gonna cost me. 'Cause I had no clue what it was gonna cost me. House, I started cruising, didn't realize that course for losing. Yeah, I make dollars every time the phone rang. Thought it'd be enough, didn't know I needed change. I'd make it rain each night. I was so cool, didn't save for dime. I was so full, yeah, and I was brand new to it. Didn't realize I was blind, so stupid. I was out and know and I would never listen. I had to hit the bottom without a pot to piss in. I had to lose my whipping to get on my shit, get tripping. I can't just fantasize on the life I wanna be living. It was never gonna be given. That's just how I had to learn it. And now I know the truth that I gotta go out and earn it. I have my ups and downs in the it's all progression. Took me long enough, but I finally learned my lesson. I was young, I was dumb, I thought money was so evil. Not yet tasted freedom, I relied on other people. Oh, silly me, pitiless philosophy. I had no clue what it was gonna cost me. I was young, I was dumb, I thought money was so evil. Not yet tasted freedom, I relied on other people. Oh, silly me, pitiless philosophy. I had no clue what it was gonna cost me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Gonna cost me. 'Cause I had no clue what it was gonna cost me.
Hey everybody, that was J-Cap. The name of the song was Cost Me. Ron had to go relieve himself real quick, so he'll be right back. So in the meantime, a little story about our next guest, Brandon Collins. He works with a friend of mine, Chris Montgomery. We met him at Halloween Hotness this past Halloween at the, what's that place called? Madame Tussauds. Madame Tussauds. He's a really cool guy. He's really like good looking. He's doing all kinds of great things in entertainment. And you're going to find out when we bring him on, he has his own beef jerky company called Southern Jerky Company. And he's in LA right now, but he goes back and forth between LA and Tennessee. Really, really great guy. And I don't know, should we bring him on and wait for Ron, or what should we do? But here he comes. I can hear him coming, so we'll wait for Ron. Ron will be here in a second. And anyway, his name is Brandon Collins. You can follow him on Instagram. It's Brandon Todd Collins. And we're going to bring him on now as soon as Ron sits down, who's coming now. So,
Are we on the
yeah, we're on the air. We're waiting for you to get here before we bring on the guest.
Well, I drank so much juice and liquids, I had to pee.
There you go.
It's normal. I'm a human. I'm not a robot.
All right, let's bring him on.
You know.
Hey, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Guys.
How's my boy?
Oh, I love your background. How cool.
Hey, you like that, huh?
Yeah, we didn't have that with the test. We're going to actually be talking about that. We haven't. So let me introduce you first. Hey, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, model, singer, entrepreneur, Brandon Collins. And hello and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
You already know Ron, but I'll introduce him anyway. This is my co-outrageous man about town, Ron Russell.
Are you kidding? He's like my son. I know. I tried
What's going on, Ron?
I tried to fix him up with my friend
Sherry Davis.
Sherry Davis.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm notorious for fixing people up.
And
So
just
how
say
are you,
hi.
baby?
Just say hi to the chat room real quick.
What's going on, everybody?
There you go. That's perfect. You got it going. All right.
So before we go any further, do you want to tell us your story, and then we could go on the lighter side of the show?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we can talk about anything. Nothing's off bounds. So if you want to start with my story, we can start there. So I think that'd be great. What do you guys want to do?
No, I have. So we just tell people a little bit about you, because people don't.
Yeah.
A lot of people know
You told me that you were autistic, and I had no idea. I mean, really and truly, you're as normal as anybody could be, or as healthy looking. So you said that you would talk about it. And I think there are a lot of people out there who have to deal with a loved one who is autistic, and maybe you can help them.
Sure. Yeah. It's never been diagnosed, but there are moments when I'm like, maybe I am a little on the spectrum, and that's okay. There's certain talents that I think people have where, it is a little evident that you might be on the spectrum. I don't really know. But I think I told you that just because, I felt like we get along in that regard, and I, felt comfortable enough to say, hey, yeah, I am a little autistic sometimes. I don't know if it's actual autism, but if it is, or if it isn't.
Well, have you been diagnosed?
No, he said no.
Never been diagnosed.
Diagnosed. No.
So what makes you think you are?
Well, my strong suits are just the way I think, and the way, I write. When I was a kid in fourth grade, I got sent to the principal's office quite a bit. I was that kid that could never sit still in class to save his life, but I excelled with writing, and I would be called out in class in a good way by the teachers. Anytime we had to do like a short story or anything. I think the first time I felt or experienced flow was when I was writing. And once you develop that skill, you never really forget that moment, especially when you're, singled out in class or wherever it is. And it kind of makes you feel like that's a strong suit of yours. So, I don't know, maybe it's just, a talent that I've always had. I don't really know what it is, but I think we all have.
I don't think necessarily
something.
it's autism. I was a very difficult student. I was always in the principal's office. And at 16, I got thrown out of school. They threw me out because I was impossible to deal with. I would take fits. I would be angry. I would tell off the principal. I would tell anybody off, whoever I wanted. I had no barrier. I felt that my freedom was more important than their bullshit. My freedom to speak, express myself, and be who I wanted to be was far more important. Sounds to me like you were the same way.
I can relate to that a lot. All I wanted to do was make people laugh in class. I wasn't really a class clown. Yeah.
I don't think you're autistic.
Well, I don't think they had the word back there when you were young, and it's a different now.
Yeah, when I was young, it was just crazy. They said he's crazy.
Hyper. When I was a kid, they called us hyper.
They said to my parents, your child should see a psychiatrist. My father went through the roof of the school, and he said to them, no, you see a psychiatrist. He was furious that they suggested I see a psychiatrist. Well, if I'm crazy, hey, everybody that thought I was crazy, look where I am, and where are you?
Yes, absolutely. So you're actually from Oklahoma, right? I wrote down that you're from Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm from Oklahoma City. I'm actually from a town called Moore, which is a suburb of Oklahoma City, and it's right above Norman, where the University of Oklahoma is at.
So you were an athlete growing up. What sports? Baseball.
Baseball, all through school. Football. I raced motocross. Even I wrestled some, and that's like a very difficult sport. I liked it a lot. It was just, it's a sweat bath in the wrestling room after school every day, and so I kind of fell out of that. But track and field, I've done everything. Yeah.
So so I'm going through your bio. It says then you kind of got scouted. So you moved to New York City. You started modeling. You even did a campaign for Nike. Then you moved to LA to pursue acting, I guess, acting for writing. And then you also do music. So during the pandemic, then you moved to Nashville back to work on music some, and you bought a beef jerky company. So go over some of that with us a little bit.
Yeah. So for everybody listening, Chris Montgomery, he's an attorney. So what Jimmy's looking at is a full report, as if he's putting together a court case. So let me put this in a. I love Chris. But I was telling him, why can't we just have this bullet pointed? And he said, Jimmy knows how I work, and just let me do it. And I said, fine, send it in.
No, I like it. I like to have it. I like to hear some of these things because it's kind of very cool. You've actually done so many different things, and you're really young, and you've done so many different things already. And moving in to go sing, and then now you own a jerky company. I mean, that's like not normal things that like average everyday people do. So I think it'll be an interesting story.
The most important thing about you, I find, is instant liking. I met you, and a minute after I met you, I liked you. And everybody feels the same way. So that's the most important thing in life, is to be liked. And you're liked so quickly because you're really a very kind, sensitive, intelligent young man. Forgive my voice, I'm losing it. I have desert shit with the sand. living in Palm Springs
Palm
sucks.
Springs, yeah.
Ugh, I hate
I
it.
appreciate that, Ron. Yeah, I think that being genuine and
Real.
real. That's what people really resonate with, and you can always hang your
We,
hat on
we,
that.
we became fast friends, very fast friends, and it was nice. Both my daughters drove to New York, Pennsylvania, and my daughter Leslie said the Oklahoma people were the nicest out of all the people going cross country. They were helpful and friendly. So I guess that's
It's an
why.
Oklahoma. Maybe it's an Oklahoma thing.
Yeah, that's why you are the way.
That you're so much nicer than
Oh,
your
yeah.
everyday people that you meet out in Hollywood.
And you're very handsome, but you're not conceited. And to be conceited ruins the handsomeness, and you're not conceited.
Yeah,
So,
or jadedness.
you're
That's a
very,
big
very, you're very workable for the movies. To be in film, you won't be difficult, and I'm sure you're a good actor. And good luck with your career. And if we can help you in any way, we sure will.
Well, I'm part of his career.
Why is that?
We're going to talk about it in a minute.
Oh.
But I want to hear the beef jerky thing. So tell me how the beef jerky thing comes around.
Yeah, it really happened by happenstance. So I grew up on a cattle farm in Oklahoma. So cattle and alfalfa, primarily. My mom, she's a farmer, and she never went more than like a couple months without any cattle since I was born. So she's always, had cattle ever since she was a little kid, because that's what she always wanted to do. And my granddad, it's his farm, so it's sort of a third generation farm. But I always wanted to own my company. I never really saw myself taking on the responsibilities of taking over the farm, and my granddad really wanted me to take everything. The problem was I always saw the work in the farming. I'd see my granddad in the middle of July when it's over 100 degrees out in the hay fields, sweating, and he has bugs flying everywhere. It's the dust, and then you got to get out of the cab of the tractor and work on things that get broken inevitably. And I just saw the work in it. And when I got older, I realized that he just loved it so much that all the work in the process was just a part of it. That's just who he was. He didn't have a plan B. And so I always wanted to be a business owner and have the responsibility and be able to have a purpose like that, to where the work is just a part of the process, and it's just who you are. And it sounds a little random being a beef jerky company, but it makes sense to me because growing up on a cattle farm, that's the base of the supply chain, in a sense. But it definitely means a lot to me to be able to own Southern Jerky Co. And we're doing a whole lot of really cool things with the company. And
where do you buy it? Like, where do you get your?
Wait, hang on. What is it?
Beef jerky.
Yeah.
What is that? I see it in the store. I never understood. What is it? Piece of
It's
animal?
dried beef.
Dead animal? Dry animal?
Basically, you take a steak, and you just dehydrate it and take all the water out, and then you can package it, and it keeps. It doesn't go rancid.
Yeah, but that's how Jimmy cooks steaks for us sometimes.
So wait, like where do people buy Southern Jerky Co? Are you guys like in California? Like, is it all over the country, or is it only in Oklahoma, or where is it?
Yeah, so we're very popular in Nashville. We're actually in most of the boutique hotels in downtown Nashville, so that we work that into kind of our marketing model as well, because Nashville is such a travel hub and people come from all over the world. And so then I get, they'll stay in the Virgin, and we're in the mini bars at the Virgin Hotel, just for example, and they go back to, even the UK, and, we get orders from all over the world just randomly. And it's because people are coming into Nashville and trying at the hotels. So we're very popular around Nashville, and we're about to start the push to start going nationwide. So it's a lot of work.
Brandon.
Congratulations.
Okay, Brandon, I buy it. I've never eaten this, so I have no idea what it is. But I've seen it in stores, but mostly gas stations. They have beef, jerky.
Jerky.
How do you eat it? What do you chew it like a rock?
That's one of the best things about
eat
jerky. You can eat it however you like. You know, you can eat it like a bag of chips, or you can, I don't know.
I mean,
It's so funny because I've never really eaten a lot of beef jerky, but I've always loved Slim Jims. Like so, and it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like almost the same, except for beef jerky is probably better for you than a Slim Jim.
We're gonna have to change that because we're coming out with jerky sticks.
What are you doing?
That's what I'm working.
Okay, that's good.
I want to know how you consume this
You
dried
open
out
up and you eat it
dried out rock of a meat. Why on earth would you do that?
because it tastes good.
Ah.
Ron's Italian, so if it's not possible, he doesn't get it.
No, that's not.
Well, we clearly need to send Ron some products so he can try it for himself, and I'm pretty sure you'll like it.
Yeah, I love it.
I can understand in the Wild West, 200 years ago, they used to dry out food, as you said, so it doesn't go bad. So I'm assuming that it's cow, which is a steak, and it's dehydrated in a strip, and you suck on it or chew it and make it come alive. I guess
it's a very popular thing.
Your saliva must soften it.
Well, ours actually is a little more tender than a lot of the beef jerky that you see.
Probably has a steak.
Actually, so yours is more tender. That's good because that's always one of my complaints is that the beef jerkies were so tough they were harder to eat.
It's not
But what does it taste like? Bacon? I mean, I'm assuming
it tastes like steak.
It tastes like steak.
So anyway, you guys, because I just wanted to bring it up. I didn't want to make it a huge topic of conversation, you guys. Southern Jerky Co. Is there a website or something if anybody wants to go check it out?
SouthernJerkyCo.com.
There you go, SouthernJerkyCo.com. Because now I want to go into why we really want to have you on the show, talk about your career.
Yes, sir.
So you're doing a new TV series with legacy-inspired films. And you guys, I'm part of legacy-inspired films, along with people, Chris Montgomery, he was talking about, Tyrone Tan, who we know from all the interviews he does, Chris Wilkes. And basically, Legacy-Inspired Films is the first crypto blockchain-funded studio, which you'll kind of get, and it's got a bunch of different series that'll be streaming on different platforms. But it's a crypto blockchain studio, and it's probably the first one, right? Is it? You think it's the first one? I think it's probably the first one or one of the very first ones in the world.
How is Brandon connected?
Brandon is starring in their series.
Oh.
I'll be the first to admit that the blockchain isn't my forte, and that is I leave that up to Chris. He's my blockchain consultant, so I can ask him any question that I have. Okay, so I mean, I'm all beef jerky. All my investments they go into my company, and I'm fine with that. But I will say this: there are plenty of people who have tried to do this and are trying, but what Legacy Inspired Films is doing is like nothing else structurally, and the way things are laid out. There are plans, even the productions that are going to be the initial projects, but the structure and the infrastructure of the company pertaining to how it works with the blockchain is very unique. And
let me help a little bit. So basically, you guys, cryptocurrency. You had trouble with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is crypto. Right. That's cryptocurrency. So this is a studio funded by this kind of things, but what makes it so different?
By Bitcoin?
By cryptocurrency, yes.
Yeah.
But what makes it, and that is the biggest thing right now too, like all the new administration, everybody is pushing this as a way to go. But really what makes this so unique, everybody.
Wait a second.
Wait, let me finish.
I'm not getting this clear, so my audience.
Yes, they are. I'm explaining it.
No, wait a second. It's Brandon's company?
No, Brandon is starring in the very first production of this company. Company that I'm involved in.
This is a production company.
It's a production company. The very first movie studio.
Okay, got it.
The very first cryptocurrency movie studio. So the biggest thing, you guys, with all of this is that it's fan engagement. Fans get to participate all along the way in the development of it, in meeting Brandon, turning him into a star. They're totally engaged with the talent that's in the productions, the content that's in the productions, and the process all the way through different digital assets, which I know you won't understand, but the rest of the world will, because other people are getting it.
I hope they do.
So it's a really big deal. And Legacy Inspired Films is basically going to be one of the first companies to actually successfully succeed with all of this. And their very big production is called Ataxia, which is what's behind his head.
That's it.
And he's training right now to star in this television series. And it's a very cool series.
What is he training?
Tell him what you're training.
Stunts. I'm doing stunts. I'm doing acrobatics. I'm doing basically everything. So training for this movie is very tough. Weapons, the whole nine. Basically, think about how Tom Cruise trains for all of his movies. Mission Impossible. I'm doing pretty much everything that he would do for a movie, and trying to stay healthy. But it's going really well. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work, but we're making it.
Good for you, Brandon. Good for you.
So what kind of you want to tell us what Ataxia is actually about? I know what it's about, but I thought maybe hearing it from you is better.
Yeah, Ataxia, I play my character. His dad is the owner of a biotech company. And so my character, Andrew, he was born with a neurological condition, and growing up, his dad always used him as sort of a guinea pig, which that's eventually what cured his condition. And upon the passing of his father, he was given the reins to the company. He finds out that his company had previously been doing deals with bad actors, and he finds out that his saving grace was actually the same type of technology that was in the middle of all these trade deals with bad people.
Well, this takes place in the future too, you guys. This takes place in the future, you guys. It takes
place in
2040
with a space
in 2045, I think, or so. I don't have that in front of me. I think it takes place in like 2045 or something. But basically, you come from a very wealthy family, but you don't really want to be a spoiled, wealthy brat. So you join the military. Something happens to you, and through your father's technology, they use it on you. They basically build a superhero. I mean, I don't know if it's billed that way, but from reading it and making a summary, it's almost like you're like a superhero. That's why you have to do all this training, because you're going to be jumping roofs and doing all kinds of stuff. So basically, they're making you more than human. You're going to be like the next superhero. And I think I read that they want to, the bad people who you're fighting against want to take that same formula that made you that way to build like armies and stuff to kill the United States or kill whatever country you're in and stuff like that. So basically, you're the superhero launching it all and trying to save the world.
Correct. Yeah. And
it's a very broad. I know that's a very broad definition, but just the fact that your very first really big role, because you've been in a bunch of things, but your very first starring role, I should say. Yeah. You're basically going to be like a Marvel superhero, which I think is the coolest shit ever.
I think it's the coolest shit ever too.
If you need an older man with a space gun.
Space gun, that's what we're missing.
He wants to be a movie with a space gun.
Yeah.
I want to be in a science fiction movie with a space gun. And I shoot people.
I think it's.
I'll see if we can work that.
Cool. I think this is very cool. I think so. So you actually had to audition. I guess that's how you met. How did you meet? How did you meet Chris? Through the audition, or how did you meet Chris to get involved in this in the first place?
How's Chris involved with this?
He owns the company Legacy Inspired Films.
Oh, that's Chris's company.
Yes.
Okay. And how are you involved with this?
I'm one of the people in part of the company.
How are you part of the company?
I am. Don't
I don't
tell
know.
it all on the radio.
You never
I know.
told me
I
about
did tell
it.
you about it, but you
You know,
don't listen.
I'm always the last to find
Well,
everything out.
I showed you the contracts when I signed them.
It's a typical marriage where he doesn't tell me anything.
No, that's not true. But anyway, go ahead. So
I'm
how
learning now.
did you meet Chris?
So Chris and I, after I moved to Nashville, that's where we met over a phone call. We actually had some mutual friends, and we just became friends and everything. He was telling me about the blockchain. I was telling him about beef jerky, and it's like, why didn't we ever become friends when you were in LA? And I'm like, I don't know. And became really good friends. And he told me about some projects that he's working on, Ataxia in particular. And that one thing led to another. I was auditioning for Ataxia, and long story short, I booked the role, and this is my dream role. It's amazing. I'm ready to start shooting right now. It's incredible.
How many hours a day are you training?
Wait a second. Are you funded?
We're funded. Yeah.
How'd you get funded?
Through Bitcoin.
The fuck is
Yeah.
that?
I know, but you're making it, so just let it go.
Let me tell you the Bitcoin story. I was in a movie where I played a general again, the same movie, I think.
Second movie.
And there was a line about something about a Bitcoin. I had no idea what a Bitcoin was. And I had difficulty with that word. Don't ask me why. But when it came to saying it, so they kept doing it over and over. Finally, Joe Kelly said to me, a Bitcoin is money. I said, oh, okay, now I know how to express it. So that's how I learned. So when I hear Bitcoin, I go nuts. I hate it. It reminds me of that movie.
You don't have to understand it. A large portion of the world gets it.
Yes, but I thought Bitcoin was gone. I thought it disappeared.
No, it didn't.
That it didn't happen. That it was a failure.
No. Cryptocurrency is going to be a big thing.
You're listening to the wrong source.
Yeah, you're listening. Well, he doesn't really
No,
listen.
I know. I hear jerks talking.
He doesn't pay attention. That's why
You'll meet the jerks now that you're in the business.
No, I love it. He's been in the business. First of all, he's been acting for a long time.
Has he?
Yes,
Let's
he
hear
has.
about that. Let's hear more about that than this Bitcoin shit.
Well, this Bitcoin shit's important.
Yeah, but it's not entertainment. Business. It's business. It's not. My listeners don't give a shit about it.
They do though, because
they want to hear how cute he is and what he's doing. If he has a girlfriend, what movies he's in. People want to know. People want to know inside shit. They don't care about Bitcoins and businesses. What are they going to invest in it?
No, but
so what's the point?
Well, they're all interested in movie studios, and since this is the first,
no, they're
movie,
not interested.
they are.
No, they are not. They're interested in him.
Of course, they are.
What studio he works for, people don't give a shit.
Well, you don't think so, but they do. So
anyway,
I'm
so
you're
happy
right.
that you have a starring role, and I know you're going to be good at it because your heart's in it, and that's important. So, what else have you done? Tell me about yourself. I want to know you.
What else have I done? Let's see. Oh man,
he was in a Kevin Costner movie.
Did you work with Kevin?
He was in a Kevin Costner movie, McFarlane
US.
Oh
yeah, years ago. Yeah, that's kind of a funny story because it was really just so it's a cross country running movie, and Kevin Costner plays the coach, and I was just playing one of the cross country runners on one of the teams that this that the starring characters competed against, and so technically that was my big screen debut. It wasn't even a speaking role, but my entire family went there to the movie theater to watch it, and they were expecting, I don't know what they were expecting, but my family's so supportive. I love them, and I was like, man, I really hope I didn't let them down. I hope they didn't think I was actually like leading the movie or something like that. But they all had such great things to say. They're like, you did great, you did awesome. I'm like, I didn't even say anything in the movie, but
it's a really good movie, though. It's a really good movie. I saw it when it came out. It's a great movie.
So you were modeling in New York. What'd you think about modeling in New York? That's an exciting place.
I turned 21 in New York, and I lived in a model apartment for a year. So there's that in a nutshell. So I mean, we were going out quite a bit, and I mean, we went to castings in the mornings. I ended up booking a whole lot of stuff. New York was great. I loved it.
Surprising.
The thing about it was my experience, now in New York would be completely different, but I was like 20 years old in New York. So I was just running wild pretty much.
No, I'm 150.
Wait,
and New York is still exciting.
he's also a singer, and I want to play the song for people real quick so that people can hear it. So you have a song. Is this the only song you've ever recorded so far?
I have a couple on Spotify.
I have one, but it's called "Blame It on Nashville."
Yeah, that was the last one.
That's the last one. So introduce it for us real quick. Juan's going to play it, and then we'll come back and talk for a few minutes after we play it, just so people can get an idea, because you're a super talent. You do it all. So here we go. Enjoy it. So introduce it for us, and then hang on. We'll be right back.
Yeah, so Blame It on Nashville is about a breakup in the city of Nashville, just walking around, the downtown streets, how the city reminds you of the girl. And, it's everything about Nashville is reminding you of her. And, that's pretty much it.
So here it is, your song, "Blame It on Nashville."
Never been the type to blame anyone for my mistakes. Even though I've done some stupid things, I'd bite the bullet and face my fate. But then I moved to this town and had my world turned upside down. No, I can't find an excuse for why I can't get over you. So blame it on Nashville, Broadway summer nights that got me thinking about you still. 'Cause every time I close my eyes, I'm still seeing your face. In the baby blue neon lights, it's plain to see it ain't me, no. 'Cause no other place can make me feel the way that I feel. So blame it on Nashville, blame it on that Jack and Cole that hit my lips just a little too smooth. Was it the band playing? I don't know. I guess the city looked a little too good on you. So blame it on Nashville, blame it on the Broadway summer nights that got me thinking about you still. 'Cause every time I close my eyes, I'm still seeing your face. In the baby blue neon lights, it's plain to see it ain't me, no. 'Cause no other place can make me feel the way that I feel. So blame it on Nashville. Lit up the world behind your eyes and knocked me off my feet. Guess I left my heart in the downtown streets. So blame it on Nashville, blame it on the Broadway summer nights that got me thinking about you still. It's like you're right there by my side. I'm still seeing you dance on the rooftop. Whiskey roll, it's plain to see it ain't me, no. 'Cause no other place can make me feel the way that I feel. So blame it on Nashville, blame it on Nashville.
Blame It on Nashville by Brandon Collins, you guys.
Very good, Brandon. And what happened with the blonde? Anything?
You know, it was during COVID, and nothing really happened with that.
She was pretty, that blonde.
Yeah, you have a very pretty girl in the video.
In the video.
Yeah, she was great.
I love it. So also to brag, a couple other things you guys might have seen him in. A Husband for Christmas, which has Vivica Fox, Rico Ross, Eric Roberts, who's been on the show, Jessica Morris has been on the show, Dominique Swain. He was on an episode of Law and Order SVU. I love that show.
Fox. Who's that?
No, Vivica Fox.
Vivica Fox.
Vivica Fox.
Yeah, she's a huge actress.
I know.
Jason Shane Scott was in that too.
I know Vivica Fox.
Oh, I don't think I know him.
Wait a minute.
I picked out the people I knew because a bunch of them we've had on the show, so it made it a lot of fun.
We met
No.
Why do I know that?
Because she's a huge actress.
No, I
She's
think
in
I think
500 movies.
I think I've met her.
No.
Vivica Fox.
Anyway, also he was in 3 Scream Queens with you guys. With Linnea Quigley's been on the show, and Brink Stevens has been on the show. Michelle Bauer, I don't know, but I think she was the 3rd Scream Queen. So it's all good. You guys can follow Brandon too. He's on Instagram at Brandon Todd Collins. And so here's something I like to ask people. We only have 3 minutes, but I want to bring it up anyway. So bucket list, male and female actor that you would love to work with, that you haven't worked with before. And if you could have ever been in any movie ever made, what movie would you like to be in? And the bucket list, the people, they can be living or dead. They don't have to be alive, because it's just a fun question. So male and female actor you'd like to work with.
I would like to work with Clint Eastwood. He's getting up there, but they're saying he's still sharp and he's still doing it in his 90s, right? What is he, 94?
And he's still directing. I just saw pictures of him on set directing something.
94. He's young yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I want to be doing in my 90s. Just
absolutely. Okay, female that you'd like to work with.
Let's do Reese Witherspoon. Well, let's do Dolly Parton. Let's bring her back and let's give Dolly Parton a big role. And
I love Dolly Parton.
Co-star. Let's do it.
I think she just did a rock song. I saw an article, something about. I think she recorded like a rock song, and she's doing her very first rock and roll song or something. That's cool. Okay, what movie would you have liked to have been in?
The Matrix, maybe.
Oh, nobody's ever picked The Matrix.
Yeah, I don't want to say the same movies that everybody else says. I want to say something unique.
Good choice.
No, that's a good. I mean, that's
one of my favorite movies. Maybe Fight Club.
So what do you think of what I look like now? It's the night you met me. The night you met me, I was totally in masquerade. A little different, right?
Great.
No, a different personality. I scared people at the party.
Halloween hotness, which I did.
No, we got along just fine.
They thought I was really a wise guy, a mafia.
That's why I like you.
Yeah, I think so too. So it's fun.
I was a wise guy.
So you guys,
quality.
Please look out, you guys. So we're going to be promoting Ataxia
we're
super
seeing
heavily.
You Saturday, right? You're coming Saturday?
Yes, he's coming Saturday.
Yes.
It's good to be seen, and it's good to do all the carpets. It's important because then you get on Facebook. It's PR.
And soon, you guys are going to see a lot of promotions for the Ataxia project, and lots of pictures of Brandon involved.
What's your shooting schedule? How many months? Month?
Oh, I don't think we know that yet.
A week, a month.
We're still getting that together, but it's going to be a quick turnaround. The schedule is going to be even the shooting schedule is going to be a whole lot different. Like everything is going to be just top notch and
where's the shooting?
Something that people haven't really seen any.
We're at times.
Before.
Where's the studio? Where is the studio?
Oh yeah,
where are you shooting?
Yeah, so the location is pending right now.
Are you shooting in LA?
The location is pending right now.
Oh.
So
I feel like I'm in Nazi interrogation.
No, it's okay. That's a good question. It comes down to some factors. That's kind of I'm not in on that
It's
conversation.
not privy for the public. Yes, it's just things that are not privy for the public.
More Hollywood magic.
More Hollywood magic. That's
Bullshit.
right. All right, everybody. So this is Brandon, and we want to thank you for coming on the show. We'll see you on Saturday because we got to go. We ran a minute over, and we'll talk to you guys later. So thanks so much, and say hi to Chris Force, and we'll see you Saturday.
See you Saturday.
Yeah, I'll see you guys Saturday. Thanks so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
All right, bye-bye. Hey, everybody, we'll see you next week.
Bye, Brandon.
See ya.
Bye, Ron.
Bye.
Can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes, download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.